another bang. All the Muslim cars now, whichever hit her. Light up my scars with a sweet one bliss. Someone flips me a bag by the say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.
Hello. Welcome to episode 5 of Crossroad Boxing with myself, Eric, my new co-host, CJ, and my old co-host, Rico. It's going to be a little bit of friction, seeing as I've kind of replaced Rico. But anyway, we'll carry on. Just before we start, we've got 40% off the Rock clothing. Rico, if you could play the trailer, please. Hello everyone. CJ, Rico.
Hi.
CJ, Rico, why are you just waving like that?
I don't know.
Things awkward on purpose.
I swear to God, I don't make anything awkward. I'm just here. But it's great to see you guys, man. You know, 1 week I was away. I was ill, fighting for my fucking life, and then you just somehow found a new partner out here, and I was like, oh, all right, cool. So this is more of a passing the torch episode. I'm happy. No, not at all. But yeah, how are you guys? Dynamic duo.
CJ, how are you doing?
We're ready to go. We're ready to go for the show.
Well, the first topic, Rico's favourite female fighter, became undisputed at heavyweight on the weekend.
Not my favourite, but she's up there.
Yeah, the GWOAT, as she calls herself.
GWOAT.
That song, it's that song. Every time you say that song is in my head. No, but what did you think make of a performance on the weekend, CJ?
Right. Okay. So first thing I thought from the off go was there was no jab. Really, compared to what she's used to, the jab's like one of her trademarks. Even like the lead up, nothing was happening. It wasn't till after the fight, I think she'd said that she actually had a bad shoulder. I don't know if she had a tear or something in the left shoulder.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I noticed that, but I thought it was because of the reach of her opponent. I generally thought the opponent's reach was just too much. Clarissa had to get inside, and I don't think she could have used the jab. She did the right thing in the fight itself. I think letting her come on and walk onto punches was probably the best way to go around that fight. Just because trying to get inside those long levers would have been difficult and put herself at danger, because that girl was just way too big for Clarissa to be fighting anyway at heavyweight, so-called heavyweight.
And you know, I felt the reach, but then I did think Savannah Marshall was a lot taller than her, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's still dominant. That's true.
I'm sure I've read it today. She's got a tear, I don't know, a cuff or something like that. So yeah. So to be fair, to go and do what she's done with one arm, if you like, even more hats off to her there. So Rico, you can just have her. There she is.
Rico, you give her flowers.
So basically, I've been hearing what you lot have been talking in it, and I zoned out a little bit because there wasn't really GWOAT vibes coming from the both of you. I think it might be a northern thing. I don't know. I just chucking that out there. But mate, I mean, to be honest, if you know, I did a watch along for the show, and that undercard was diabolical, bro. I can't lie. It was tough. It was really tough in these streets to get through all of that. The co-main, even more. I don't even want to talk about it. And then you know, with Perkins, she's it took her 10 years to get to the ring. Yeah. Like
She was nervous.
Nah. Nerves don't make you slow, innit? It doesn't make you walk less fast to the ring.
If you don't want to get in that ring, it makes you slow.
What are you doing there then?
I remember my first fight. I had the slowest walking of my life because I was looking for like, and now I'm walking now. I've got to get in there. But bro, she was nervous. As soon as she got in there, you could tell it through the build-up. To be quite honest with you, I don't think she ever believed in herself that she could beat Clarissa. You could tell in the build-up. Go on.
First of all, you referred to her GWOATness by GWOAT. All right, we don't use governments out here, bro. Secondly, Perkins was a unit. She was massive. She was just huge for no reason. People were like, "Oh, she's got a chin." I was like, "There's a lot of it." I mean,
to be fair, you're saying she's got
a chin there to be, bro. So yeah, I get it. And then, because what annoyed me, it took her 10 years to get into the ring, and then when she took the thing off and thing, and then I saw and I was like, all right. It might take me a while if I was that size just to be walking places. But mate, the GWOAT just did GWOAT things, GWOATingly. You know, she an absolutely beautiful counter, that slip into that overhand right hook to the chin area. It was just
she kept trying for that same shot all night. She was trying for
and
that
then
shot.
Yeah, but Perkins just dropped for no reason. There was one round where the ref dispersed them, and then she just went down, and I was like,
"Oh, when she laid on the canvas." Yeah,
I didn't know what to say. I was speechless.
I didn't realize he was like 13 years younger than her as well. I didn't realize that until seeing it.
Yeah, 42 years old. Now this is where we need to go into. You've got, obviously, she's become undisputed for fighting Perkins. What's the Perkins?
Yes, Perkins, bro.
Perkins, exactly. Perkins, who's 5-0. 3 of those belts was the first time those belts has ever been fought for. Is it really right for that to be happening? Shouldn't there be, if there isn't a new belts being dispersed, shouldn't it be fought for? But not all 4 belts at the same time, because now you've got, obviously, they should have been dished out to contenders. Then we get to the crescendo, as you call it, the big fight for the undisputed. Because to have a 5-0 fighter fighting for undisputed against the quote unquote the GWOAT, like for me, it's just a bit of a mockery, because now Clarissa, rightfully so, is going round. Now she's what, 3 or 4 time undisputed now. I think it's 4 time undisputed.
I think yeah. So 3 divisions. 4.
Yeah, because she undisputed before Savannah, dropped 1 belt, and then fought Savannah for that belt. So you've got her undisputed runs have got. I think her first one had, I think, a couple of vacant belts as well. Clarissa is a fighter. Her skill set is fantastic, but I don't believe she's the best female fighter out of what we've got.
I thought Savannah was going to do a job on her, 100%. I thought Savannah was really going to do a job on her. I think she got proper rabbit in headlights syndrome. Because that fight hasn't then had a rematch, I do think that speaks volumes as well. I do think maybe Savannah wants that rematch, truthfully.
Yeah, I think Clarissa called for that rematch post fight. I
Yeah.
think she said to get Savannah, and probably the issue Savannah's having right now. She's gone over to PFL. She's had one mixed MMA fight. She's now in boxing. Don't know what's happening. Obviously, promotional wise. Well, we might as well go into it now with obviously what's happened with Boxer and Ben Shalom. Francesca Hennessy having the same issues with Ben, that he's got him to travel down to be at this press conference, and neither of them got announced.
He's getting a bit of stick at minute, Ben Shalom, isn't he? I was reading one just earlier. To be fair, it might have been from the other day, but it was Azim, Turkey, taking him off the card, because he wouldn't agree to fight to O'Leary, Dalton, or don't know off the top of my head. So
yeah.
He's massively in the limelight, Ben Shalom, at minute, and the pressure is on. And this is the time where fighters will jump ship. They'll go to either Uncle Frank or Eddie will be waiting around the corner with a big bag of cash for him.
But the thing is, though, Ben took so many fighters from Eddie, where it was supposed to be they were turning over to Sky, and Ben was supposed to make him the next star. You've got Lawrence Okoli went over there, ended up getting beat, didn't really have a good performance under Boxer at all. Who else went over there? Chris Billings.
Whoa! That's a lie. He won the Poland and won the Bridgerweight title.
He wasn't with Ben.
Yes, he was. It was a Boxer show. Yes, he was. Yes.
Was a Boxer show in Poland?
Yes.
Dzień dobry.
It was a Boxer show.
Bro, can you just Google the things now, bro? Like,
no,
my gosh.
It was a Boxer show. Anyway, Lawrence Okoli went over there and did nothing. Let's be honest. He went over there. He was meant to be the face of Sky Boxing. He's done nothing. He's really didn't do anything. He won the Bridgerweight title. I apologize. the Bridgerweight title.
Saw your life out.
The Bridgerweight title, what everyone hails. I can't remember who else has been the Bridgerweight champion. Makabu wasn't even a Bridgerweight. Name me one Bridgerweight champion apart from Lawrence Okoli.
Was that what Babic?
The guy that he won it. The guy that he won it from. The Polish Don.
Who was the guy?
I don't know, bro. But this is just it just goes to show, Okoli's greatness. He's erased that Polish Don from the history books. I hear that.
Lorena, Kevin Lorena. That's it. Thank you, Lucy. Kevin Lorena. Really? That's what we're talking about. The Bridgerweight, the standard of Bridgerweight is Kevin Lorena.
Lorena won Bridgerweight champion.
I ain't got that here. No.
Who was Bridgerweight champion?
Bridgerweight champion was
This is my whole point's been proven with this conversation right now. We can't even name who the Bridgerweight champion was, and we're talking about Lawrence Okoli having this brilliant performance in Bridgerweight. Bro, he went over to Sky, and Sky didn't do what they were.
He did have a brilliant performance at Bridgerweight, bro. You're a hater, innit, bro?
Sky didn't do what they were supposed to do with Lawrence Okoli.
Lucas Rozansky.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Iron. Iron.
But anyway,
and what a stoppage it was.
Would you have liked him to box Billum Smith again?
Yes.
Nah.
If he could have made the weight that was an issue, wasn't it?
I think the weight was a massive issue. I think the weight for Lawrence has been an issue for a while, to be honest with you. I think one of the reasons why his performances was like there was because of the weight. I think he had power and he relied on it. So he because he was that drained, he just relied on his power a lot at that weight. I think moving up, he looks at heavyweight. He looks a completely different fighter at heavyweight to what he was.
Do you think he'll establish himself as a big heavyweight?
I think he'll get big fights. I believe he can get big fights. I think he's a problem. I generally do. How he's filled out at heavyweight, it's impressive compared to how he was at obviously Cruiser. Cruiser he was quite lean, but really tall. At heavyweight, he's just filled out. He looks like a proper heavyweight that obviously can hit, because he could hit at cruiserweight. He can obviously hit at heavyweight. But is he with Frank now? Who's he with now?
Yep, he's with GWOAT Warren.
Yeah, he's with Frank now, so he's on the Saudi scene. He will get fights.
Do you think he'll have a big push to?
I think he has to. I think with the heavyweight division being how it is at the moment, it's stacked. There's so many. Like, obviously, you've got Usyk, and then after Usyk, there's so many fights that are out there that stylistically that you can make in that heavyweight division, from British level going up to world level. I don't even think there's that much of a gulf at the moment when you're looking at the European level and British level. They're more or less the same at the moment, and it's just that step up to the world level where you have got the likes of obviously Bakoli,
big fan of
Zhang, Kabayel, Ajagba. You've got all of those who are world level. So Bakoli, it's up. I don't know what he's going to do. Whether he feels like he's surpassed British level because of his name. I think
he needs more.
Of course, he's surpassed British level. He's a former world champion. What the hell are you even?
I'm talking about.
Do you think Rico
completely different?
Do you think Rico then that he beats any domestic Brit?
What? Go Coley?
Like, so, just top of my head, Fisher or Dillian White. Yeah, Chisora.
He absolutely. What even conversation are we having right now? Goat Coley absolutely puts to bed Chisora. He tucks him in at night. Chisora and White. He tucks in Dillian White as well. There's a lot of people that
I want to see the Dillian White fight. I want to see the Dillian White fight. I think that's the fight for me that will show you where Lawrence is at everywhere. Because at the moment, Dillian's last performance, I don't know what that was. To be quite honest with you, that performance was awful. Was that in Japan? Yeah. It was just an awful performance. Dillian's legs looked like they were the shot. I don't know how much he's got left, to be honest with you. And right now, I think a Lawrence Okoli fight for Lawrence is perfect. And I think for Dillian, it's also a good fight. Just because if you can beat a Lawrence Okoli, it proves that you can still fight a Joshua and those up. Because right now he's out of the conversation for a Joshua fight. He's out of those conversations. I think Dillian White.
I think that's a great fight, the Dillian White fight. I don't think Lawrence Okoli beats some of our domestic heavyweights, truthfully. I really mean that.
Maybe Moses Ituma, I can't even lie. Moses Ituma is I believe that he will be the next great heavyweight king for at least a decade, maybe a little bit longer.
He needs to be tested big time. Yeah. I've heard it too many times at the minute of how good he is and how everybody's saying that he's the next big thing.
Bro,
he hasn't fought.
He is, bro. If you meet him, bro, I'm 10 years this guy's senior, bro. He looked like he was my dad. No, I don't know the blasphemy for like, Moses is out here. He will split the heavyweight division like the Red Sea.
Can I ask you this though? I'll say this.
I'll have questions. I'll have answers.
Am I right in saying it was Parker that boxed McKean?
Yes. Yeah.
No one thought absolutely anything of it in the slightest. No. But Moses Itoma did the job on him, and instantly
I agree with you. Moses Itoma, I said this a while ago. Moses Itoma has the sort of, he's in the position where Joshua's coming out of the game. and there's that gap to fill at heavyweight for there to be a new British star. And Moses Otoma at the moment ticks every single box. He's
100%.
he's knocking out opponents. He speaks really well in interviews. Every time you see him, he was at the Ring Magazine at 19 years old. He's at the Ring Magazine Awards, speaking. You know what I mean. So they're putting him.
He won Prospect of the Year.
Yeah, exactly. They're putting him into that mode where Joshua's about to leave. We need a British star at heavyweight. We need the next.
We need a new British Nigerian.
So I can definitely understand why people are pushing it and bigging up the Dempsey McKeans and just because of his age, for one, and two, he's not had many fights. But I do get where you're coming from. It is early, but you're gonna get that hype with him. And the good thing about the state we are in the heavyweight division at the moment, I don't believe they're going to protect him. So we're going to find out sooner rather than later whether he's actually that good.
I hope so. And again, that is slating Moses Otoma. I do think he's a real talent. I do think he's going to do well. It's the ones of he's already going to be the next biggest thing. He's already the biggest star. He's already won under world fringe level. And in fact, to do that, there is so many good fights for him domestically, like you've just said. So I hope that they do actually put him through them. I don't want to see Dempsey McKean fight Johnny Fisher next. I want to see him fight.
Exactly. I think you have got a really good opportunity to. Obviously, they started off his career with the whole beating Mike Tyson record and stuff like that, which I don't think's helped, because I think if they didn't start with that, he would have already fought the British level fighters. I think they're trying to fast track him to that world level, just in case a belt comes available and they can do that as a publicity sort of thing. His talent, I believe, from what I've seen, I think he's good. I think he is very good from what you see, what you've been shown. But I would like to see him against the domestic. I think, like you said, the Johnny Fisher and Adelaide. There's still names, Solomon Dakers. There's still names in the heavyweight division at British level where I know Otoma at the moment and his performance at the moment is sort of saying, oh, he's above him. But you still need to go through that test for me. Because once you get to that world level, there's no dropping back down. We know this. There's no dropping back down to fight them guys. And those guys, whether he smokes them or not, that's invalid. That's a very, very good learning fights. There's good fights. There's stuff that might happen in that fight that when you get to world level, oh, this happened in that fight. I've felt that before. I've done this before. When you're at world level, it's the first time. Like we spoke about Yard last week. When you're at world level and you get into that tough moments and you've never been there before at domestic level in fights where you dig through and dig through that pain of being gassed and, you know what I mean, not being able to hold yourself up, but you get through it at domestic level. He'd never felt that before. So when you get to world level and you get there and you've not felt them experiences, it's massive. It's a massive difference.
It's the experiences that you can't buy later on down the line, isn't it? That's what you need. But yeah, 100%. I just want to see him tested, that's all. Just want to see him go the right channels. And then we know, don't we? And this is going back a few conversations. This is what we're trying to say about Azim, isn't it? Again,
yeah.
He needs to prove himself with the fights that were put in front of him. Them 3 fights, and then all this hate would disappear. Do you know what I mean? And then we'd see if the hype was real, wouldn't we?
And that's the thing. And I think even earlier on with the likes of the Fraser Clark situation with the purse bids to fight Wardley and stuff like that. Ben comes across as, when you speak to him about his fighters, he's all for his fighters, he can do that. But then you ask him a question of, right, will he fight this? Oh, the fight's not ready yet. This person isn't ready yet. Or Adam's only 22 years old. Adam doesn't need this. And it's like, yes, you do need it. For us as boxing fans, all we want to see is the best in the country first fight each other before they get to that world level. Because we want to support you. Like the British boxing fans support their fighters when they get to world level. You look at the fighters who have had a massive fanfare. at domestic level, they've cleaned up. They've done really well. They've garnered so many fans. They've beat fighters and garnered their fan base. So when you get to that world level, everyone is behind you. Kell Brook had it. Kell Brook did it really well. British scene went through the British scene, did really well. Gathered his fanfare. World level, when he went to world level, Kell Brook had a very good following, really good following. So I think Adam needs to fight these domestic fights, the names at domestic level, before he gets to world level, and so does Dalton. I think the same goes for him. I'd like to see him clear up domestically before you go to that world level, because, like I said last week, I think he's probably 2 fights away from a world title fight to challenge or possibly win one. In those 2 fights, why not fight the best fighters at European level or British level, to gain that confidence and experience, like you said.
Do you think it's Ben Shalom that's the problem then? In all these, like you touched on then, and then as in, is it not Ben Shalom?
No.
You think it's the fight?
I think it's anything but Shalom.
I think it's the fighters' camp. I think you look at promoter wise, Ben hasn't got much, so you can look at it that way, that he doesn't want his price asset to lose or whatever. But what is he gaining? How much is he gaining on these shows he's putting out there? Because he's going to have to be paying Adam a decent amount to keep him. You know what I mean? Adam has to have a decent, and he's got McGuigan's in his corner. So let's be honest, his contract isn't going to be small.
Well, Shane came out and said that Adam doesn't sell tickets. I mean, Dalton doesn't sell tickets.
Dalton definitely sells tickets. I've been to a Dalton fight in Sheffield. Dalton sells.
Massive.
I don't know.
That's that Rico, just so you know. Okay, Sheffield.
No,
I don't think well, firstly, no one really knows what a Sheffield is, so that's crazy that you guys would say that.
The fact that Shane said that Dalton doesn't sell is crazy to me.
I hear him. I hear him.
Dalton, listen, Eddie Hearn doesn't let you headline your shows in your area if you're not selling. If you are not selling, Eddie Hearn is not gonna. He'll just put you on an undercard in London. Like, your fans is gonna have to travel.
Yeah, but they can these times here. Like, ever since there's one guy I know at Top Rank. His name is Aladdin. Shout out to him. He hires these child actors, bro. So for me, I don't know, innit? Like, it could be. We don't really know what's actually going on in the whole spectrum of attendance.
I've been live at Dalton Smith fights.
There's no evidence to what you're telling me right now. Like, I don't even know if you're a real person.
Any fight in Yorkshire gets packed out. Any fight in Yorkshire. You look at Callum Simpson. Callum Simpson gets sold out. When Luke Campbell was fighting, Luke Campbell sold out. Bro, I'm telling you, when fights come to Yorkshire, it's sold out.
What about Warrington fights in Leeds, Eric?
Say that again.
Josh Warrington's fights in Leeds.
Josh Warrington fight is in Leeds.
Oh
exactly.
My God!
Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh my God!
What's up? Where we going with this?
I just go ahead. What did you say, Josh Warrington? Oh my God! Massive headache, bro.
CJ, you'll learn quickly the fighters that Rico likes and don't like.
Mate, don't like is a strong word. Prefer not to is the right type of abbreviation. You know them ones there, but no, I mean Yorkshire. Banter and jokes aside, and it's really tough for me to say that. I can't lie. Dalton obviously does sell. When you were saying, is it Ben Shalom? I gotta be honest. Yes, it is. It's massively Shalom. He, from an outsider looking in, and I know this because one time Ben didn't like something that I said. And he rang. He rang
you.
Yeah. So, like, and he does that. He does that with a lot of people. Yeah. But like, I just feel like, you know, how do I say this, man, without coming across like an absolute fucking prick?
Just say
It'll
it,
be
man.
hard.
Just
maybe,
say it.
maybe don't pull your guys out of purse bids. Maybe just, work with. Because do you know what killed me? Yeah, do you know what? This is what killed me about Ben Shalom. This will tell you everything you need to know. So I remember, I think there was I don't know if it was in the Ring magazine or some show or whatever like that. And Ben, they had the couch and and they were doing the pictures and stuff. And Ben sat in the middle, and he was like, "It's in my contract that I should be sitting in the middle of these fighters."
Ben he just makes a rod for his own. I just don't get it with him. I really do. He's one of them people where you just think I have a feeling Eddie and Frank look at him and go, you know what?
They laugh at him. They laugh at him, bro.
Just let him in. Just let him in for a bit. And then he's got in and he's just this little kid just buzzing around everywhere. And
but you know, Uncle Frank
to be here.
Uncle Frank said, "Nah, bro, I don't know about this heat, bro. What do you mean contract? You're sitting in the middle and this and this. Wait, what's going on here?" And then Uncle Frank squared up. I thought Uncle Frank was gonna let loose, and Ben was just there, like, just chilling.
I tell you what the sorry. Ben, what lost to Ben was he signed Joshua Boazzi, convinced Joshua Boazzi, being on Sky and being on mainstream, so you're on Sky, you're seen more. We'll go with that route. You want to be seen more. You're on Sky. Bro signs with you, and the very next day, the zone goes on to Sky. Bro, how do you not know this? You are the lead promoter for this company. How do you not know that they are getting the zone? You went through this whole thing of, oh yeah, he wants to be seen. He needs to be seen on Sky. He's been over there behind this on the zone on this paywall where you can't get. The very next day after the guy signs his contract, the zone's got a channel on Sky. That just made your whole pitch and Boazzi. That made Boazzi and his team look so stupid. It made
he's still a baby in the game. He's still a baby in the game. Once upon a time, in fact, not long ago, Frank Warren was laughing at Eddie Earn in that same way, wasn't he? And Eddie was always saying how, like, Frank won't even talk to me, like he has to go through Barry just to talk to me. He'll come good. He'll find his feet. He'll find some fighters.
I don't know. The problem is how long Sky going to stay in business, because the shows they're being putting on can't be making much. I'll be honest with you. Because boxer shows, they just look at the farce with the Jonas versus Price fight. Like, it's a press conference. You've got these fighters coming down from wherever, Newcastle, London, wherever, and you've
told my guy Retro Savage. Big up to you, man, bro.
Their fight is going to be announced, only for them to get there and nothing happens. Like, how do you lose fighters that way? You completely lose fighters that way.
I never want him to leave, man. I think he's the best thing ever, bro.
I don't want to see anybody fail, to be quite honest with you, in boxing. I don't.
Not even fail. It's like you're. It's falling with style.
Should we touch on the 7th of March show then?
Yeah.
So Price and Jonas touching it up. I am a massive Jonas fan. I'm actually got
not bigger than me, bro. I love Miss GB, bro. I love her so much.
Yeah, I've got a ticket up in God's light. Yeah, I think my mum got it for me, bless her, for my birthday. So I'll be down.
Rico, have we got accreditation for that one?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did apply for that one there. Yeah.
I'm seeing what I can do. Because Steffi manages Raven Chapman as well. So
yeah.
Well, if you want to like go to shows and stuff, this is what I would say. Well, we'll talk like after and things, but yeah, we'll probably definitely get accreditation for Miss GB.
So Miss GB,
I love Tasha so much.
What do we reckon?
She's so beautiful.
I don't know. You know what? I've always been a Miss GB fan. I remember when
No,
she
you
lost
not.
to.
No, you haven't.
No, I have. When she lost to Obanov,
Oh.
I was so gutted that day. It was such a shock when when she lost to her. So, but how she came back and everything, I've always been a fan of Natasha and Lauren Price. I just can't get on with. I don't like her demeanor. I just don't like how she is. She just seems arrogant as hell. And I just can't rock with her. I'm hoping. I don't know whether it's the obviously the younger one coming up fighting the older champion. If it's going to be one of those fights,
I'm
but I think if
hoping.
Natasha can box a sensible fight, because Price is quite reckless. She's gone her come forward fighter, all action fighter, which is very very good to watch, really good to watch. But I think if Natasha can, now go on.
I think it does worry me. It can come across as a bit recklessness of Price. You know, it's all out. It does worry me for the early rounds for Jonas. I wouldn't want her to get caught cold. I wouldn't want her to get overrun quickly. Do you know what I mean? I do think the later the fight goes on, this is when we're going to see a better part of Price. Hopefully, if she is what she says she is. I think we're in for a really good fight. It is just them early rounds that I would worry. I don't want her to get caught cold. And like you say, rising star, old head coming down sort of thing. You don't want that to be the storyline again. I'm excited for Art Install as well. Price's partner, Art Install's fighting Chapman. That's a really
Chapman. For Raven to go into that fight off the back of, who did she just fight?
Nicholson.
She lost to
Sky Nicholson. That's a tough fight to go straight back into. Obviously, I like to see that. I say that because yet again, Art Install is one of the lead ones who Ben Shalom's put his hat on. He's put his hat on.
I don't see it as, I'm not going to lie. I think there's a lot riding on Art Install. She's yet to really impress me.
Yeah,
I'm yet to see something shocked.
Out of the two, Price is overshadowed her really. Out of the two signings coming out of the Olympics, obviously, Ben signed them. But it's a fight of Art Install has that sort of that boxing style. What Sky Nicholson has. She has a similar style to Sky, but she's more willing to trade than Sky is, I think.
Yeah.
Clarice, she is more willing to trade for than Sky is. So I think Raven has a real opportunity there in that aspect.
I think it's a massive opportunity, like you say. Yeah. It's a great fight for her to have taken straight off the bounce to Sky. I do think I don't think anyone would have complained if they'd have seen her step in with a lesser opponent, so to speak. You know, and a builder, if you like. You know what I mean, I think she's done well.
It was surprising that's who she was fighting so soon. But like again, then again, I like seeing stuff like that. I don't mind fighters going towards the fire. I think that's what all fighters should do. They should back themselves in fights. I don't like to see fighters go, oh, well, I've just had an hard fight. Sometimes, yeah, if you've had a real hard fight, a tune-up is needed. If you still want it, if you still want to be in there, sort of thing. But I don't think. Go on.
I think too much stigma on unbeaten fighters. I think it's ridiculous. I mean, how often can you say someone has been undefeated at the end of the career? It's really rare, mate. I mean, especially in amateur. Don't get me wrong, like Lomachenko and them Ukrainians, that's a different story, because even some of them are like 100 bouts and they're barely picking up any losses. But you ask your normal amateur fighters, you're picking up losses on the road, should I say? Yeah. We need to get out of that. And I think we touched on this last week, didn't we? Or in fact, it might have been me and you on the phone about heavyweights, domestic heavyweights.
Yeah.
Boxing getting beat. we're going to see the best of them. We're going to see the best be the best. We're going to see them on the good days and the bad days. And this needs to be put across the whole of boxing from now on.
I think the whole thing of we didn't get the styles make fight sort of argument as much because people stayed away from people they believed that was a style that would trouble them. With all these fighters fighting each other, and obviously Turkey getting involved, and obviously Frank and Eddie seems to be happy to put in the fighters against each other. Hopefully everybody else follows suit. You're getting that styles make fights. You're getting A can be B, but then C can be A, and those sort of fights. And when you're going into it thinking, you know what, that's a good 50-50. You have your person who you think might win the fight, but then you get into the fight and you never know what's actually going to happen. I think Wardley versus Fraser Clark is a great example where two fighters, completely different backgrounds. Obviously, Wardley coming from the white collar background, Fraser coming from the Olympic background. Those fights, what we want to, their fights, what we want to see. Both fighters have name. Both fighters are good, and them two fighting each other when they did, and the first fight being how it was, an absolute fantastic fight. You've got that. The second fight obviously went how it went, but it's good to see Fraser back out in interviews saying that no, he still wants it. He wants to come back fighting. You've got David Adelaide coming off of a loss. Not coming off a loss. He came off a loss and then did to Solomon Dakers what he did to him. Who would have guessed that would have happened?
Never in a minute. I backed Dakers all the way. I really did with that one. But that's good to see, and that's what we're wanting from all our divisions at domestic level in Britain. I have a funny story quickly on Wardley Clark. You know, on the first one, I won't get into that. I managed to bag front row seats, like I think there were Chisora sat in front with us. I think there was I can't remember her name now. There were someone else sat there. Anyway, so me and Al said she'd never been to a boxing show before, so I said, I'll take you with me, and then it ended up with these front rows. So going in and you're like, you're nipping and squeezing. Oh, excuse me. Well, there was like a family of three sat like in our bit, and our lass is like, well, go on, go tell them to move. Go tell them to move. And I'm like, well, hang on. Oh no, there it is. Let me see it. She's yeah, that's what we're doing. I was like, hang on first. She was like, get him to move, get him to move. It was Mick Hennessy, Fran Hennessy, and Michael Hennessy. Claire's going, get him shifted, get him out of our seats. I was like,
God. Yeah, that's a Northern bird for you. That's exactly what my lass would be like. She'd be exactly the same. No, it's our seats. So I'd be like, just chill.
Oh, going. You have no idea of that, is Claire. I can't go over there and shift him out of our seat. But yeah, no, 100%, mate. The fighters now starting to fight, take chances, take risks at domestic level, and it's fantastic in every division that we've got. And I'd much rather sit and watch a domestic show in Britain with our top fighters than I would watch like the undercard of Shields. It were really poor, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean?
The problem is like America don't really have a domestic scene, so we only really hear about the fighters when they get to that sort of world level range. Whereas over here, we follow our fighters from pro debut, small hall shows all the way through till they actually get the big break, which is why I think we've got the best boxing fans. I think probably most knowledgeable ones who actually look at things objectively rather than just, oh yeah, he's the best because he's got power, or he's the best because of this. And I like to have these conversations because, like, on Twitter and stuff, we go into spaces where you've got Americans and their thought process on a lot of things are completely different to ours. So it's like they value stars rather than skill set. I believe. I feel that when a fighter comes up, they're more worried about whether they're going to be the next star rather than being talent level, fighting the best fighter. Are they good enough for this fighter? And so on and so forth. They like to navigate. They seem to like to navigate their favorite fighter to stardom. Oh well, he should fight this because this person will sell this much, or how much does this person sell? And I've never spoke about fighters selling and fighters market value so much before, until I started obviously speaking to Americans and doing this, where you realize that over there everything is about money. Like it is, and it gets the conversation about skill set and the matchups gets lost in the fact of, oh well, it can't be made. He won't take this amount of money for it. He won't take that amount of money, and it's so boring to have an argument about money. Who's worth more? Like, it doesn't tell you who's the better fighter.
No, it doesn't. Do you know? It's actually surprising. I wonder how many people do realize behind the scenes of boxing what actually it takes to get to your star that you're watching on main event and you're loving. People saying about he's only fought journeymans rubbish. There's no sport without journeymans, and a lot of these journeymans have started off their career probably with every dream of being a world champion. They've probably done well in amateurs. They've probably boxed top blokes. People have no idea. It is about ticket selling half of the time. I've seen national champions, like triple-time national champions, coming over and they can't sell tickets. Next thing you know, they're on road. They're on road boxing Joe blogs, tucking up comfing. They're getting an envelope and they're going home happy at the end of the night that they're still boxing, they're still earning a wage. People have no idea that that's what it takes. You're watching your star. He's boxed half of these guys. He wouldn't be there without these guys that are going home to their family with an envelope at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I've taken Sergio Bomo on the road with Jason Cunningham. He was a 2012 Olympian. Do you know? He's phenomenal on the pads. I mean, he's 40 now, touching. Probably is 40 now, actually, I think. He can take. I mean, he's been in the ring with. I think there's only really like David Avanissian that's troubled him hard. Do you know what I mean? He's been in the ring with everybody. That's just the route that he got gifted, really. If you know what I mean.
You get those. You do get those where people that it's those lights. Maybe that scene isn't from. They're in the gym. They're absolutely brilliant. They can spar anybody. They're giving a lot of people work. You do hear them stories where you've got fighters like that. That's why it's only when it gets to like the world level and you're seeing certain fighters pick certain opponents and you're like, why are you fighting this person when you were at this level? You shouldn't be fighting this caliber of fighter. This caliber of fighter needs to be fighting a prospect, needs to be fighting somebody who's building the career. But when you've got people at world level fighting guys like that, yeah, obviously for the other guy it's a paycheck and whatever, but it's not really building the sport. When you get to a certain level, you need those journeymen needs to be fighting prospects to actually earn something out of there, to keep to even prolong their career as a journeyman. Because when you're going up there, journeyman fighting someone at world level and they're getting blasted out in 2 rounds, they can't fight for 3-4 months.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They can't fight. But we'll just touch on obviously, because you're part of Steffi Bull's gym and the saga with Caroline Dubois and Terry Harper. We'll touch on the opponent that Caroline's landed on. I'm going to try and say her name.
What was her name?
Bomi Regin. I want to say it. That's how I want to say it. Bomi Regin. She's fighting.
Pause.
Go on, Rico. What?
Pause. What? That's you and Terry Harper, bro. Oh, that's nice.
That's me and Bomi Regin.
Oh, you and yeah. Well,
No.
This is here. Let me get a little bit of growthness in your life.
We're trying to talk about. I'm trying to talk about Caroline Dubois here, and you're bringing up a photo of Terry Harper. You're bringing up a photo of Clarissa Shields. No,
I tell you,
Where's your photo, bro? You know, you sound like you just sound like a hater. we got our we brought our photos into school today. You didn't even get one photo there.
Bro,
So
that wasn't part of the lesson. That I don't remember putting that in.
I'll tell you a good thing I read today, boys, about Shin, is that she said, I've been preparing for Caroline Dubois for 2 years. 2 years ago, someone mentioned that you two were going to meet on the road eventually. And she said she's made that very clear that they have prepared for her style for 2 years. I do think Caroline is overlooking her. Now, I've been through a record. I wouldn't dare pretend to know much about.
Is she moving up in weight? Is she moving up in weight for this? Or is she at that weight?
I think she's at the weight. Yeah, I think she's at the weight. The only.
Do you reckon she had like a whole training? Do you reckon she had a whole training montage like Mulan when she was learning to fight the Huns in the cartoon?
I think the only like notable name was Delphine Persoon that she lost to, that I've really recognised truthfully on a record. She's at 18
Baumgartner.
Has she boxed Baumgartner?
No, I thought you said Persoon, because Persoon just lost to Baumgartner.
No, he's saying who Bomi Reagan's boxed.
I don't know this. I didn't even know this lady existed, man. Till early on today.
2023, but she's got 18 wins and she's got 10 by stoppage. So like she clearly can bang, regardless of like the level that she's boxed at. It's not too common for women to have high KO ratios. So that's something for Caroline to.
What is she? What has she been fighting? Domestic Japanese ladies.
Korean. She's South Korean. She's from Seoul in South Korea.
Oh, bro, this is not even. What are we talking about here, gents, man? These ladies are 4 foot at best right now. And Caroline is just
fighting.
And bro, and she said, "Well, I've been preparing for 2 years. You're 5 years too late."
I see obviously the Persoon fight, a split decision with Persoon. How Persoon fights, and if I wouldn't recommend getting into a firefight with Caroline, if I was her, because obviously Caroline's last performance, Jessica Kamara, I don't know how much she had left, but it felt like, and Kamara fought a high level as well. I think she fought Carly Reese for a unified title. So I wouldn't recommend getting into a firefight with her. Persoon is a good fight to have before fighting a Caroline Dubois, because the work rate of Persoon, we've seen it against Katie Taylor twice. We saw it against Katie Taylor.
Nah, Persoon's done, man. This is how I know. You lot never saw that fight with Baumgartner.
I'm talking about. Yeah, but she came into the ring with like a knee brace and everything on. Like, I'm not talking about that Persoon. I'm talking about the Persoon that she fought, that Katie fought. That Persoon. Oh yeah, Chris. Crackinshaw lads, been a few. Oh yeah, Devon. Is it Haney? Haney's return. Oh, Heaney's return.
As in Hitman Heaney.
Yeah. Is Heaney fighting tomorrow night? Is it tomorrow night Heaney's fighting?
Nah, he's fighting on the Cesaro card.
Oh, on Saturday night.
The Persoon fight, Lucy just said the Persoon fight was really good. It was a really good fight, and that's what I mean. That's the only thing I can go off from this, is that she can have a scrap. There's no denying it. You know, Persoon's well up there. Probably past it now, but still, we're still only seeing early days of Dubois. We're still only seeing the early days of Dubois. As brilliant as she.
The fight with Persoon was in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Persoon was, to be fair, Persoon was coming off all wins after the Katie Taylor fight. So she wasn't coming off any massive layoff, sorry. But I do think I wouldn't recommend many fighters getting into a firefight with Caroline anyway. I think her precision punching. I think she punches hard. I think she's very good at placing the shots. She does get a bit wild when she's on the inside. I think she rushes her work a little bit when she gets on the inside, instead of giving herself a little bit of space. But I expect her to maybe stop her. I expect a fast start from Caroline as well, because at this point, I feel like every fight she has a point to make just because of everything going on. I think she really has a point to make. It's the same with Adam Azim. They're both in the same camp. I feel like every performance now, and until they fight the person everyone's asking them to fight, it's going to have to be a performance they feel like, now we need to perform tonight. Tonight needs to be a stoppage. And Shane McGuigan's smart. He's smart. He knows what he's doing. Go on, Rico. You wanted to say something?
No.
Oh, no. I thought it was like a talk. No, yeah. I think Shane McGuigan's smart. I think they've chose that opponent for a reason. You're look at what they chose Lipinets for Adam. We knew Adam would end up doing that to Lipinets. I thought he should have started a lot earlier than what he did fighting on the inside. I think after like 4 rounds, 3-4 rounds, he should have started fighting on the inside with Lipinets.
Can I say it didn't overly impress me, the performance, that much.
Oh, don't say that to Rico.
He dominated him, but like I think he should be getting him away. I mean, did he not drop him in the 3rd round? Like,
yeah, I said this after he dropped him. He should have gone on the inside, and I actually put in our group chat. Adam needs to start holding his feet, because as soon as he starts holding his feet, he wasn't going anywhere. He was literally coming forward, hands up, high guard. He wasn't going anywhere. So holding your feet in that position where you know you wasn't getting hurt, you was having the best of every exchange, just about. You only really got caught when you was pulling out, as he was coming out. That's the only time he really got caught. Because even on the knockdown, he got caught with the left hook as he landed his. But I thought, I do agree. I thought the performance was good. It wasn't fantastic, but I also thought, I only say it was good because I thought he could have done earlier. He should have been. Go on,
mate. Sorry.
No, go on.
He overwhelmed him completely, but was that not what he was in there to do? I think people forgot he's a 35-year-old, a lot of miles on the clock Kazakh. Like, it's not impressed me. It's not made me turn any pages for Adam Azim. He's not doing himself any favor in my eyes. The talent that he has, which I do believe he has a lot of talent, he's really, really got to step up now. He really has.
I agree. I think I don't know where he goes next. Obviously, that 140 division, you champion. All the champions have got fights at this point. You've got Teofimo and Hitchens, supposedly. Those two have to fight. Well, those two are fighting each other. It seems like they have to fight each other because both of them have mandatories. I think Matthias, who's Matthias fighting? I can't remember who he's fighting, but his fight is for the mandatory position for the IBF, and obviously Jack Catterall and Barboza is fighting for the mandatory for the WBO. So if those two don't fight, they're either going to get stripped or they're going to have to fight those guys. And I don't think Teofimo wants to fight Jack Catterall at this point in his career. I don't think he has any intention of fighting Jack Catterall. I don't think Hitchens really wants to fight Matthias either. Just going in after just winning your belt when you could have fought Matthias for that belt. You fought the guy that beat Matthias, but I don't think Hitchens ever wanted to fight Matthias. I think the style matchup wise, Matthias is just too much for him. I don't think Hitchens stands his ground enough to hurt Matthias and stop him coming forward. Although I do think his boxing skills he has got boxing skill. I think he's very talented. I've seen Hitchens get overawed by Rowley in sparring. Like I've seen that happen, so I can't get that out of my mind.
As you've just said, Teo, Barboza, Catrell, Richardson, Hitchens. Where do you rate Cruz in there? Where do you rate Cruz after that performance?
I don't think he's a 140 fighter. I think he gets beat by. I think he gets beat by any one of the top 140 guys. I don't rate him as a 140 fighter. He's too small. That style, the champions that are at that weight as well, he'll just get his head picked off. I think anyone that's got any ounce of boxing ability, a pure boxer, beats him because he just walks onto shots all night. I don't rate him at 140. I think 135, he could have a run and see what he can do there. But at 140, I don't think he beats anyone. To be quite honest with you,
he wants the Tank rematch.
Go down to 135 and have that rematch, because that will do more for your career than fighting anyone at 140, because no one's a big money fight at 140. To be honest with you, there's no one at 140. Teo's not a big money fight. We've just seen what contract he's just leaked where he was getting offered the Matthias fight. Richardson Hitchens certainly ain't a no money fight. You've got, is it Puello and Gary Russell Jr.? Them two are fighting each other.
Yeah.
And you've got Rayo versus. No, is it Rayo versus? Who's Rayo fighting? I think it's Rayo versus. Oh yeah, Rayo versus. No, it's Rayo versus Russell Jr. and Sandor Martin versus Puello.
Puello.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll touch on the one last one. What Chris was talking about. We need to talk about Derek Chisora. His final bout. I don't believe it's going to be his final bout, because that man does not know when to say stop. He doesn't know when to say stop. But if it is his last bout, I think an Otto Wallin is a very, very good opponent for him, where he will be able to perform, where Chisora can perform. I don't care about Wallin. I don't really rate Wallin. I never did. From the moment he fought Tyson Fury back then, I didn't rate him back then. But for a fighter like Chisora, and what Chisora has done for British boxing itself, like that man's gone to hell and back for British boxing. He's been in some massive fights, some entertaining fights. He's either got knocked out or he gets knocked out. He either gets knocked out or knocks someone out. He is an entertainer. For me, he'll be missed. I think he's probably one of the most unpredictable people or boxers in boxing.
He's a lunatic, bro. He's a massive lunatic.
Sat behind him, was like, I can't even get it straight. His back was just like, if I'd have been smaller, there was no way I could have seen past him. He's absolutely ginormous.
Nah, he deserves a send off like a hero, to be honest with you. That man's gave a lot to British boxing. He keeps fighting. He brings a crowd out no matter where he is, and I think he's probably the only fighter in British boxing that nobody hates, to be quite honest with you. Because whether or not you think he's a lunatic or not, you still think, I like that guy, just because it's Del Boy. So for me, I think hopefully.
Do you think he wins the fight?
I think he knocks Wallin out.
Do you?
I think that's why Wallin's in there. I think he knocks Wallin out. I've never rated Otto Wallin, honestly. I think he's too straight up how he fights. I think his fights are really straight up. And for Chisora's looping right hand, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect for him. I never rated him. I really didn't ever rate him. It's the same with Gerald Miller. I never rated him either. And
you didn't rate Big Baby?
No. Who did? This is the thing I kept saying. who did the guy fight? Like, who did he fight that he did anything against that he fought?
How do you sound surprised? He sounds so surprised. He's like, what? I don't believe
like
in Big Baby.
This
Nah,
is the whole Big Baby saga. That's what led us to Andy Ruiz and Joshua.
All the babies let us down. All the babies let us down. I wanted a battle. I wanted a battle of the babies.
Well,
is that the Coley?
Yeah,
Coley
Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only 23. Mr. Only 23. Moses Thomas out here just banging people at 19.
Knocking them out, bro. Not crying in no one's shoulders or anything, Moses. Realist.
Just before I leave, Chris, who have you got, Eubank or Ben? Who do you want to win? Who do you want to win and who do you think will win?
I want Eubank to win. I think since Ben's come back, possibly not on the juice, is a completely different fighter. I think. I don't know. I think Eubank stoppage midway.
Well, we'll leave it on that note because I completely agree. We'll leave it there. We've been running for a good hour and 5 minutes. It's been a really good show, boys. Enjoyed that. Looking forward to episode 6 next week. CJ, if you want to say where people can find you, obviously plug the boxing gym as well, and whatever else you want.
Yeah. My
Eric is so funny.
I'm not good with this tech stuff, so when you're like, I noticed under your name you've got all your tag stuff. Can you do that for me next time? Because I ain't got a clue what I'm doing.
Yeah, bro. The fact you typed in CJS8 is killing me right now. That's like that's a FIFA username.
that's his gym.
I need prepping before all this. Don't embarrass me in front of everyone because I have no idea.
And it's a great name. And it's a great name. I didn't think anything about that. I was like, wow, my shit should be like that.
I've had it for 4. I've had it for 4 episodes. CJ, it's all right. You'll get used to it.
when you were saying like thumbnails, I was like, what's he on about? Yeah.
Like Northerners are my favorite type of people. Like it's like you discover fire every day. That's what. But no, man, great show, Eric. Great show, CJ. Good to see the both of you, obviously. Yeah, I'm very excited of what's gonna come next from you guys. To be honest with you, I think the whole the northern dimension is so. Yeah, keep on going.
Thank you, guys. Been a pleasure again.
Yeah, been brilliant. Right, we'll see you next week. Players out, Rico.
It's another band. All the mass and cars now, whichever get up. I start my card with a sweet one place. Someone flicks me a back by the say, oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah. It's a full strand, yeah. Oh, it's another one. It's another one, yeah.